The West Ham Massive are pleased to support Iron Supporting Food Banks. They are a group of West Ham fans and friends inspired by the work of other football food banks around the country. They collect food and cash donations for a Newham food bank in Beckton, who supplies 7 distribution centres in the borough 7 days a week and hand out several hundred 3-day emergency food packs every month to families in need. They are also working with other groups to improve conditions for vulnerable adults and children in the Newham community. You can help by making a donation to their Just Giving page. You will find the link to this in the description section of the video details in this stream. Thanks for your support. Come on, you Irons. Welcome to the West Ham Massive once again. Please don't forget to drop a like on the stream, subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. Make sure you hit that bell icon and click all, and then you'll get all notifications sent to you telling you when there's new content on the channel such as this. Thanks for joining me on the dog walk again. So, just wanted to put together a little video, a couple of little things I want to get off my chest, discuss with you guys. Please don't forget there's a comment section below, so get stuck into that. Right, so first thing I want to get into, and this was actually a topic, so I asked for some input on what you want discussed on the dog walk video, and Mark Watson, thank you Mark, came forward with a little pearl of wisdom, a little suggestion. And to be honest, at the time I was a little bit oblivious to this particular thing regarding Will Steele. Now, I've since watched Russ's video on the West Ham network, and if you haven't done so already, please pop over there and give them a sub. I'm sure you probably already have, in fairness, but if you haven't, make sure you do. So, long and short of this is that apparently Will Steele has had an interview with some media outlet where, to paraphrase it, he's been asked about would he be interested in taking on the job at West Ham. Now, he's basically turned around and said that he's not sort of ruling it out. He's turned around and said that he wants to stay at Rem for a period of time, which is the club that he currently manages in Ligue. And I'll give you a little bit more context in case you're not too sure who the guy is, because you might be watching this and you might be unaware. So I will fill that blank in if necessary. But so he's turned around and said he wants to do this, that and the other at Rem, but at some point in the future he'd love to be in the Premier League and he'd love to be managing West Ham. Now, for those of you that don't know who Will Steele is 31 years of age. He was born and raised in Belgium. English parents though. Speaks perfect English, actually speaks with an English accent, which is quite odd, I think anyway, for someone that was born and raised in Belgium. But he speaks in an English accent, speaks perfect English, unlike me. That wasn't scripted, by the way. Speaks perfect English and speaks perfect French as well. Probably speaks Flemish as well, I'm not too sure about that, but he certainly speaks French. There's a clip somewhere, if you have a look on YouTube, and I might edit it into this video if I can, of him at a training session with his current club, Stade Rem, where he's talking to his players and he's switching between English and French. It's incredible. Really is something to see. Now, last season, he became manager of Stade Rem, and he actually didn't have his UEFA coaching badges. So, for every game that he was the manager, Stade Rem was getting fined. I think it was 22,000 euros or something like that. I'm going completely from memory, but they got fined an amount of money that was in the tens of thousands of euros. And that they got fined every single match that he was in the dugout. He has since got the UEFA coaching badges that he was getting fined for, so that's now no longer a consideration. They finished 11th last season, and just to sort of go into a little bit more of his backstory, he started his coaching career, or his career in football, as the manager of the under-14s at Preston North End. He was over here on some university sort of thing, and he got involved in that. He's gone on, he's done other roles in football as well as management and coaching. He was actually a video analyst at one of his clubs in the past. And anyway, so he found himself as manager of Stade Rennes last season in Ligue 1. He went on a bit of an unbeaten run. I think it might have been about 10-15 matches, something like that, unbeaten, something in that realm. And they finished 11th in the table, which, I'm not being funny, for a team like Stade Rennes, very, very creditable. You know, when you sort of think about the money teams in France, you've obviously got PSG, you've got Marseille, you've got Monaco, you've got Lyon, probably Lille as well, bigger team than Stade Rennes. So probably the best that they can really look for, with the wind at their back, everything going in their favour. You're probably looking at 6th place. So to get 11th, you know, and he wasn't the manager for the whole of the season, obviously, probably wasn't a bad outcome. At this precise moment in time, this season, they find themselves 4th in the table. Ahead of them, again, I'm going from memory, PSG, who they actually play later today as I record this, at home. Monaco and Nice. They're the 3 teams that are above them in Ligue 1. So, doing very well. Now, so all that sort of being said, that's his backstory. He's a West Ham fan. Could he possibly be a replacement for David Moyes whenever that comes to pass? Whether that's during the course of this season, which is probably unlikely unless something goes really drastically wrong, or more likely, if, as what we're being told, David Moyes is unlikely to be offered a new contract, is it going to be that he's a contender at the end of the season? Or even could he be the manager? Now, as I say, he's 31 years of age currently, and he doesn't really have a football career, and he's never managed in the Premier League. Is it a risk? Is this someone that you just look at and go, absolutely not? Or do you look and go, well, hold on a minute, he's clearly a very intelligent guy. I mean, go and listen to some of his interviews that he does. He's a very articulate man, very bright, very intelligent, tactically very aware. And, you know, is it that just because he's young isn't necessarily a barrier? Actually, it might even give him a little bit of a fresh perspective on things and new thinking, new ideas. He's managed in a top 5 European league, and he's done very well compared to his resources. I think one of the difficulties for me is always going to be that how does a young manager, 31 years of age, not had a football career really, how does he command the respect of players, international superstars, on hundreds of thousands of pounds a week? But he seems to have done it at Rennes. All right, it's not the Premier League, and probably they don't have the plethora of international stars that maybe even a club like West Ham do, let alone the Man Cities of this world. But is that necessarily a block on him becoming a contender for the West Ham job? Could it even be that the fact that he's a West Ham fan, does that go in his favour? Now, I'm not saying just because he's a West Ham fan, because, you know, I'm a West Ham fan. Doesn't mean would be a good manager for West Ham United. Absolutely not. But he is a manager. He's clearly done it at a decent level, and he's got a lot of learning to come, but he's someone that seems to be very willing to take on information and whatever. And the fact that he's a West Ham fan, if he was to manage his club, would he maybe try a little bit harder than someone that isn't a West Ham fan? Does the fact that he's a West Ham fan maybe give him a little bit of an advantage over the competition who are not West Ham fans? I don't know. And to be honest with you, it's not really my thoughts that I'm interested in. I'm interested in your thoughts, which is why you've got a comment section below. So what I want you to do is give me your thoughts on Will Still. You know, is he someone that you'd like to see at West Ham? Or would you like someone with a little bit more experience behind them? Let me know your thoughts. And as always, guys, thanks for joining me on this dog walk video. Don't forget to drop a like on the stream. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're new around here. Don't forget to hit the bell notification, click all, and then you'll get all of the alerts for any new content as and when we load it onto the channel. And as always, guys, thanks for joining me on this dog walk video. I'll see you again soon. Stay safe. Come on, you Irons.
The West Ham Massive are pleased to support Iron Supporting Food Banks. They are a group of West Ham fans and friends inspired by the work of other football food banks around the country. They collect food and cash donations for a Newham food bank in Beckton, who supplies 7 distribution centres in the borough 7 days a week and hand out several hundred 3-day emergency food packs every month to families in need. They are also working with other groups to improve conditions for vulnerable adults and children in the Newham community. You can help by making a donation to their Just Giving page. You will find the link to this in the description section of the video details in this stream. Thanks for your support. Come on, you Irons.